Today is a good day. The sun is shining and we have elote on the menu. Not one, but two different ways. Meet me in the kitchen, let's make it happen. All right guys, we got the grill fired up. It's sitting at about 350, 400. We're gonna go ahead and prep our corn on the cob and we're gonna grill it on the grill, get that nice char. We're gonna make elote dip and then just traditional elote today. Mexican street corn. To get things started, we got a little melted butter because butter makes everything better. Got a couple parsley flakes in there by accident, but hey, not gonna ruin nothing. We're gonna go ahead and brush that butter on, and then we're gonna season it up and just grill it until it's nice and tender. Now, optionally, if you don't have a grill, no big deal. You can go ahead and pop it in the oven at about 400 to 425. The goal here is just to cook the corn all the way through. You can put it on broil for a couple minutes just to get that nice char. Corn is naturally sweet, so when it chars, it gets beautifully caramelized and the flavors just build as it continues to cook and gets a little bit of that char on there. One of my favorite dishes, the elote or Mexican street corn dip, is also a great way to do this. So if you ever make too much of this for a party or something, you can chop it right off the cob and make yourself this dip. Can't go wrong with little fried tortilla chips. I'm telling you guys, you gotta try it. And then a light application of seasoning. All purpose or just salt and pepper. Kind of roll it around. Plenty of flavor to come, so don't go too crazy on the seasoning. We don't want to over season this. Just let the corn really shine. So now that the corn is prepped, we're going to head on outside to the big green egg and grill it at 350 to 400 for about 8 to 10 minutes. All right guys, once the corn is just about done, for the dip, you kind of want to pull it a little bit before it's all the way cooked because we're going to put it back in the skillet with some peppers and onions and things of that nature and finish the cooking process at that point. And we're getting started with the dip first. So you want to take your corn on the cob. A real nice kitchen hack is to use like a bundt cake pan to do this, but everybody doesn't have one, so I just want to show you guys another way to do it, which is be very patient and don't rush through this or corn is going to get everywhere. But if you got that bundt cake pan, you just put the corn right in the little circle and the kernels just fall right into the cake pan. For the rest of us that don't have one handy, just take your time. For the recipe for the elote dip, you could also use frozen corn if you want to, but you know, we're trying to get it a little bit more on the authentic side and put it on the grill. So that's what we went with today. Totally optional, customizable to your preferences. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and prep the onions and the peppers that go in the elote. Again, this is customizable as well. I add some jalapeno to mine for a little bit of heat. Totally optional, you can use bell pepper if you want. We also have red bell pepper here for a little color contrast. It's gonna present nicely. I'm also gonna remove the seeds because I'm a bit of a punk when it comes to the heat. I like a little bit, but not too much. So go ahead and remove those seeds from your jalapenos. Dice them up with your red bell pepper, half of a large onion. All right, so we're gonna heat our skillet over medium heat. You don't want it to be too hot. We're just gonna toast the veggies, start to let them release their flavor a little bit. We're gonna get started with the onions and the peppers. All right, so we're gonna heat our skillet over medium heat. If you need you a good skillet, I got one for sale. You can grab it via the link in my description box. Get the party started with the onions and the peppers. Get those on in there. Followed shortly by the corn. Then after a few minutes, we'll add a little garlic. Got that nice red, white, and green color going. It's gonna present nicely with the corn. And then goes 5 to 6 ears of corn. All right, so at this point, we're just gonna cook until the veggies get tender. We're gonna season it to taste and then let it cool because you don't wanna add it when it's piping hot to your mayo and sour cream mixture because then it'll get oily and the fats will start to separate. For seasoning, we're going with a tablespoon of garlic paste, some chili powder, and a little chicken bouillon powder. We'll add a little tajin at the end and a little bit of my all-purpose seasoning. The beautiful thing about this recipe is it's great served warm or cold. You can even serve it at room temperature. Really can't go wrong. Serve with crackers or tortilla chips. I preferably I like to use tortilla chips myself, but either way, it's good to add on top of a like taco salad or even like nachos, quesadillas, tacos. Basically, at your next Taco Tuesday, this in some way needs to be on the menu. Last but not least, we're gonna add a little fresh lime zest. It's gonna brighten things up, and then the juice of the same lime that you're zesting. That a little mix, and we'll let that chill to room temperature, and then mix it in with the rest of our dip ingredients. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and make our mixture for the elote that's actually staying on the cob today. You need a 1/4 cup of sour cream or Mexican crema, and then a 1/4 cup of good quality mayonnaise. We're gonna mix that together. Add a little cotija cheese, a little lime zest, pinch of sugar, kind of balance out the acidity. So we're gonna add a little lime juice as well. I'll add the zest in towards the end. Pinch of sugar, about a teaspoon. It's optional if you don't want it to be sweet at all, you can leave it out. A little all-purpose seasoning. Then we're gonna give that a whisk and then start to add in the cotija cheese. Cotija cheese, you can find it pretty much anywhere, any grocery store these days. Is either in the specialty cheese section or over there by the Parmesan cheese. So basically what you do is when the corn is done cooking, let it cool just slightly. You brush this on the corn and then coat it in the cotija cheese, tajin on top, a little lime zest if you want to, and that's it. A little cilantro garnish, and it's delicious, guys. You gotta try it. Next up, it's time to make the mixture for our elote dip. For that, we need similar ingredients except different quantities, and we're gonna mix it all together. So we need 1/3 cup of sour cream or Mexican crema, and 1/3 cup of mayonnaise. We're also gonna add the cotija cheese right into this mixture, along with some lime juice, lime zest, chili powder, cilantro, and a little tajin. So 1/3 cup of each, which is about all the mayo we got. We're also gonna add a tablespoon of garlic, that lime zest we talked about, about a 1/2 cup of cotija cheese. We're gonna add a little bit more as needed, but I like to start with about a 1/2 cup. A pinch of cilantro, about a 1/2 teaspoon of chili powder, and a good teaspoon or 2 of all-purpose seasoning, or just salt and pepper. Break out the whisk, give it a mix. To beef up the flavor a little bit, we're gonna add about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon powder. You could also use a Goya product. Adobo works here. Something with a little MSG in it, preferably. But we're going with chicken bouillon because I put that shit in everything. And that's what you want to see right there. It's about a cup in total of cotija cheese. We just want to make sure that the consistency is right. So always add it, start with a 1/2 cup and then work your way up to the full cup, leaving just a little bit to garnish the top. All right, guys, so now we're gonna go ahead and fry our tortilla chips for the dip. 350-degree oil. Cut your tortillas into quarters or whatever size you want. Oh. Try to burn your camera, man. And then 2 or 3 minutes, these will be crispy. Pull them onto the wire rack, little salt. Amazing, way better than the store-bought. All right, guys, once this is cooled enough, at least to room temperature, you can put it in the fridge for a little bit if you want to. You can even make it the night before your party. We're gonna go ahead and mix that into the rest of our dip ingredients. We got our chips fried up. This is gonna be special, folks, I'm telling you. If you're into corn, this is one of those ones. Just fold everything in together. As you can see, it's holding together nicely. It's not getting too oily or the fat's not separating. And that will happen if it's too hot. So just be conscious of that. That's probably the only way you can mess this up. Everything else is just super simple. Go ahead and fold everything together. And then we're gonna get it into our serving bowl and garnish it with a little bit more cotija cheese and some cilantro. Let me know in the comments if you guys have ever tried this before. If not, again, trust me, March Madness is coming up. Find an excuse. I don't care. Make it up, whatever it is. Make this and serve it at your next party. All right, so last but not least, we got our elote that's still on the cob. It's cooled enough to touch. We're just gonna brush on that mixture that we made. Nice, you know, moderate layer. You don't want it too thick or too thin. Then once we have it brushed on there, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with the cotija cheese. Then we'll garnish it up. So that's what you wanna see. And then I just like to sprinkle. That way it's not too heavy of a coating of the cheese. You can roll it if you want, but then it gets kind of clumpy. So this is my preferred method. Kind of just sticks to that mayo and sour cream mixture nicely. No lumps. Like so. Just repeat that process until they're all coated. Then we'll hit it with some tajin or chili powder and a little cilantro. Serve it up with some lime wedges. Got yourself a nice side dish. And that, my friends, is how you make elote 2 ways. We're gonna go ahead and plate both of these up. That, my friends, is how you do elote 2 different ways. We're gonna go ahead and plate this up. This is the part where I say brace yourself for a trademark money shot. Say it with me, guys. Looking good. The only thing left to do is dig in for the taste test. But before we do that, please take a quick second to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications as well. All right, guys, I already got a chip here, thankfully. I'm gonna get on in there with an adequate scoop. Look at that. See what we got. Can't forget this. Need some alone time with this one. Pause.
Right here, make this. Ooh, love some corn.